10 tips for saving money that not only help you feel totally abundant and are a whole lot of fun, but that actually help you attract even more. In today's episode, I'm going to share with you 10 tips that are really wide-reaching and across the spectrum for saving money in a way that helps you feel more abundant and that actually helps make you magnetic to more money and abundance. Because saving money does not have to be about feeling poor and like there's not enough and like we have to miss out on stuff and, buy the cheap stuff. Saving money can be done in a way that feels utterly empowering and that actually helps you create wealth and become magnetic so you attract more money and abundance towards you. And as you save money on the things that you don't really need to be spending all that extra money on, you in fact have more money available for growth, for your money to, as I say, make money babies and actually create financial stability and ultimately financial freedom and wealth for yourself. And if you enjoy this video and would like to see more like it, please hit the like button, click subscribe, and hit the notification bell just to make sure you get to see more videos like this, because they're designed to help you create a state of abundance that's both inside and out. Now, back when I was going through what I call my broke single mum phase, when I was on the bones of my butt, I had to save money because I didn't have any money. And so everything was about how cheap can I do it? How cheap can I make it? And there was good and bad in that, because on one hand, I felt poor and I felt like I didn't have enough and I was extremely stressed about money. And that's not conducive to you actually cultivating an abundance mindset and becoming magnetic to more opportunities, money, ideas, and abundance of all forms. But on the other hand, it actually taught me that you can do on very little money pretty much the same things you can do on a lot of money. And the difference in the end result is not all that much. Now, I recently released this episode over here where I talked about, bargain shopping and how it relates to an abundance mindset. Can you bargain shop and have an abundance mindset? So I'll link that in the description below for you and probably make it clickable over here at the end of this one as well for you. And I encourage you to check it out next. We'll talk about it a little bit in this episode as well, though, because the thing is that at the end of the day, it's not so important what you actually do. What's important is how you feel about it. So if you bargain shop from a place of, I love being able to do this or get this for a whole lot less than I could have spent if I just hadn't really thought about it or planned it, because that means I have all this extra money available that I can use to reduce debt, invest, grow my wealth. When you come at it from that point of view, it actually helps you cultivate an abundance mindset. It feels really, really good and empowering, and you do take charge of your financial destiny. Not to mention that bargain shopping is actually a whole lot of fun. You kind of get to make it a game and, just see how well you can do. So I'm going to start sharing with you 10 tips. They're not necessarily my top 10, but they're 10 I came up with for you today. And I'm also going to do a little bit of show and tell for you of some of the bargains that I have scored that I absolutely love and that help me feel utterly abundant. Let's go. Tip number 1, let's start at the grocery store. So always walk into the grocery store with a list. I know that seems obvious, but not just a list of, what's kind of missing in the pantry. I like to think about what meals am I planning to make and try to make them as modular as possible. You know how we have a capsule wardrobe? Think about having a capsule shopping list so that, you might buy broccoli, and the plan is that you can use some of that in maybe a stir fry and the rest of it maybe steamed on the side of some fish. So you're buying the one thing, but you're planning to make maybe more than one meal with it, so you don't have those leftovers and the waste. And the other kind of hot extra tip, you're getting the bonus tips already, but I will give you some more at the end of the video. The extra little bonus tip is shop and plan for one meal less than you think you need, because there are always leftovers. Something always happens. And you will have the odd occasion where you say, you know what, it's takeout night. tip number 2. Let's move on to your wardrobe. My hot tip for you is to stick to buying basic pieces that are good quality, good fabrics, buy natural fibers, buy things that fit you really well, buy things, if you're buying new, that are basics, high quality and simple, and then dress them up and accessorize them with things that you buy recycled and secondhand. So for example, for me, I'm very much a t-shirt and a top kind of girl, and my weakness is I love jackets. I have a lot of jackets. And if you look at my wardrobe, you might think, oh my God, woman, how many jackets does one person need? But the thing is that I can just wear a plain t-shirt or a plain top with my jeans and swap out my jackets, maybe swap out my jewelry and my handbag, which I also like to buy recycled, and end up with a whole lot of different looks. So let me share a couple with you. For example, I currently own 3 long woolen winter coats. A cream one, which is this one here. Now, I bought this one recycled for an absolute steal. It's probably a $900 coat. I paid about $140 for it, and it had never been worn. And you could absolutely tell it had never been worn. Now, the other coat I have is this one here, which I actually did pay a lot of money for back in 1991, maybe 1992. It was definitely back when I first started in my engineering career. And it's a great coat. I still absolutely love it. It was high quality then. I knew that I would have it for a long time. I maybe didn't think I would have it for quite this long, but I'm so glad I hung on to it. And then the third one is this one here, this lovely kind of rich brown, loose fitting coat, which is wool and cashmere blend. It's incredibly soft. And I found it in a thrift store for $30. It's in fantastic condition. It feels wonderful. It's easy. You can just throw it on over the top of everything, and it's incredibly warm. So 3 coats, which, you could have spent thousands and thousands of dollars on, but really only a couple of hundred. And let me just talk leather jackets for a moment, because I do really like a leather jacket, more a crop jacket. I have 1 denim jacket, and then at the moment, I have 3 leather jackets. And this one here, I actually had tailor-made for me in Bali, and I believe I paid 180 Australian dollars for it, which is nuts. I love it. It fits me perfectly. It doesn't seem to matter what I wear underneath it, whether it's a thin layer or my thickest jumper, it still fits me perfectly. And then I ended up finding this little brown moto jacket in a thrift store. So fits me perfectly, really cute, great to throw on. And then this second black leather jacket, and yes, I don't need 2 black leather jackets. However, it was given to me because one of my mum's clients gave it to her, and it no longer fits my mum. So she gave it to me. And this is a really beautiful, high quality, soft designer jacket. And I was very happy to grab it. So 3 woolen coats, 3 leather jackets at the moment in my wardrobe. Now, when it comes to handbags, I like to recycle them as well. Buy recycled, and I also recycle mine. So I like to look after them. And if I decide that I want to buy a new handbag for whatever reason, I ideally will sell one of my current ones, put it back into the marketplace so somebody else can enjoy them. So this black handbag here, I recently bought on, I believe it was on Vestiaire, for just like $50. And it's beautiful. It's a beautiful Hobbs handbag, and the price just kept dropping, and then I thought, oh, well, thank you, I'll have that for $50. I'll especially have it, thank you very much. And then this Michael Kors brown bag, I recently bought secondhand as well. I think I bought it on Depop, and it was about $80. So 2 beautiful designer quality leather bags cost me next to nothing. And what I've actually recently done is I had another a bit more higher end designer bag that I had bought secondhand, and I've just sold it because what I've decided is that the gentleman who made me that leather jacket, he's going to make me a bag to order, because what I'd really like for a little bit of a dressy evening bag is just a 2-in-1. So he's going to make me one that's both brown and black, and, sort of a nice shape and size so that I can wear that as my evening bag and just have the one, because less is more, as long as you absolutely love and adore every single piece and you make them modular and you keep things simple. Now, I've already kind of said my third tip, which is sell something before you buy something new, because we all have enough stuff in our lives, right? And so if you decide you need something new, whatever it is, get rid of something. Even if you give it away, clear the space, make that energetic space. And, if you can get a few dollars for it, awesome. And then when you get that money in, make sure you put it towards whatever you know to be your current number one financial priority. And I've got a video on that for you, which I will link here at the end. It looks like this, and it'll be linked in the description below for you as well. That tells you a little bit more about the importance of having that number one focus at all times. I think we're up to tip number 3. Now, you already probably realize that I really love thrift and recycled stores because you find treasure. It really is a treasure hunt. And, you can really find those statement pieces, jewelry, handbags, and coats, as you just saw, and really make whatever you're wearing pop. And finding them like that just has a really deep sense of satisfaction to me, because I know that I'm not adding to waste on the planet. I know that I'm not contributing to, industries that are rife with taking advantage of people and all sorts of issues. So that makes me feel really good. This recycling of all the things we already have is a great way to go. And you can do that with your furniture. So most of the furniture in our home is actually still furniture that I bought back when I was broke single mum and I had no money. And I went to the local auction houses and I just found things that I liked, that were kind of my style. And I would leave absentee bids on them of, this is my maximum amount I can afford. And then I would just find out after the auction whether I won it. And that way it took away, any temptation to spend more money and the pressure and the stress around being at an auction. And I've ended up with furniture that we still use and enjoy every single day that I wouldn't part with. And that's actually incredibly high quality and would cost a fortune to replace if we were to do that right now. Now, another really hot tip that saves you an absolute fortune that we did is to sell the second car. Because most families, if you're running the kids around and you're always off in different directions, that's fine. But once you get past that stage, you don't need 2 cars if it's just a 2-adult household. You really don't. And so, we sat down and realized that it was just a convenience thing. And here we are, we're paying insurance, we're paying registration, we're paying for fuel, we're paying for maintenance on yet another vehicle that we didn't really need. So we sold the second car and we said, you know what, if once a month we have a scheduled clash and one of us needs to catch an Uber, well, it's still not going to amount to what we would have had to pay in like registration and insurance on that vehicle for the month. So what we did do, however, is we bought a scooter, which we absolutely love because it kind of reminds us of, all our Bali holidays. And we love the scooter. Anytime the weather is good, we fight over who gets to ride the scooter. And that's what I take when I go to my yoga class, which is just down the road, or go for a coffee, with my friends locally, anywhere kind of nearby. The scooter is so handy. And we don't really tend to go very far. And on the weekends, if it's nice weather, we'll both jump on the scooter and go for a ride along the beach, grab an ice cream, grab a coffee, and have ourselves a little outing and pretend we're in Bali. Okay, I think we're up to tip number 7, and that is get solar panels installed on your home if you own it, and then run your equipment that uses power during the day, because this little bunny was a bit silly and I was still caught in the mindset of use off-peak power, it's cheaper. So we had the solar panels soaking up the sun during the day, feeding all that power back into the grid. And then I was running my washing machine and things at night. So don't do that. Don't be silly like Miriam. Run your washing machine, run, all of those things, the pool heater, whatever you've got going, run it during the day, use the power of the sun. It will pay for itself in next to no time. It's a really great thing to do. And it has saved us thousands and thousands of dollars. Okay, tip number 8 on a very similar vein is shop around, say once a year, on all your basic home bills. Review them all. I'm talking your phone bill, your internet, your insurances, all those basic home bills that we tend to kind of forget about, because you know what? Chances are you're paying way too much. And when you took on that commitment, you shopped around to make sure you got a good deal and you're actually getting what you paid for. So it's important to review that annually. There are actually services who will do that for you, who are impartial and who will guarantee to save you money. So if you can't be bothered doing it yourself, pay someone else to do it. It will still be worth it. It will save you thousands. Every single time I have done a review of our basic home bills, I have saved at least $1,000, which is pretty cool. Okay, I think we're up to tip number 9, and that is to regularly review your mortgage and the interest rates on any other loans and debts you might have, because they can be absolutely significant. So back when we owned and operated the mortgage broking business, it was just standard practice that we would review every single customer's home loan once a year, and all their investment loans as well. We didn't wait for them to call us. We didn't wait for them to ask. It was just calendarized in our system. We would do it, and then we'd get to send them an email saying, hey, we just saved you a few $1,000s every single year. You don't need to do a thing. Or sometimes we would say, hey, we think we can save you some money, but it would involve maybe refinancing or something like that. You know, let us know if you'd like to pursue that further with us. But if you have a broker, that's their job. And if you don't have a broker, please get a good broker. Don't go direct to the bank, because their job is to sell you what they've got, not what their competitor has. Okay, I've got one more and a couple of bonus tips coming up for you. But first, I want to know, what are your favorite tips for saving money? How do you love to save money that helps you feel really excited and empowered? And that's a whole lot of fun. Let me know in the comments below. Okay, this is tip number 10, unless I lost count, and it is a really fun one, and that is look for relocation deals on motorhomes and camper vans, because you can do that. And Martin and I have done that several times, where we have found a motorhome that needed to be moved from I believe it was Alice Springs to Adelaide. We've done some other trips as well, and we would get paid, literally get paid an allowance to cover the fuel to travel in this motorhome. And you know, you get to go out and see different places. You don't have to pay for accommodation in Airbnbs. You get to go out on the road, build fires at night, you know, camp in unusual locations, and it's a whole lot of fun. So iMover.com is a website that I like to look at there, but look for relocation deals in your area. You can get cars, you can get motorhomes, you can get all sorts of weird and wonderful things. And most of the time you're able to hire it for a couple of extra days for a really small fee. So that way you can make the trip a little bit more leisurely, rather than just, you know, rushing from A to B. Plus, of course, the bonus of a motorhome is you have a traveling kitchen and bathroom with you. So you just stock up at the supermarket, and then you make really simple, easy meals, enjoy them by the campfire at night. And it really is a lovely, lovely getaway. Okay, bonus tip time. It's another travel one, because I really love to travel. And that is, look for house swaps or house sitting. So there are websites, there are apps dedicated to help you connect with people, or you can just ask friends. So if you're traveling interstate and you have friends in that state, ask them, do you know anybody who would like to do a house swap? Do you want to do a house swap? Unless you really want to go visit those friends, then maybe don't swap houses with them. But there are always people looking to do a house swap, to have somebody come and house sit for them, look after their pets, water their pot plants, and so on. And so it's a really great way to go to wherever you want to go to, live in a really nice, comfortable home, have fully equipped kitchen and all the rest of it, without needing to pay for expensive accommodation. And just one more extra little bonus tip, going back to meals and meal prep, make enough when you cook at night to ensure that you have lunch ready for the next day. It avoids you having to make something else for lunch, having to maybe buy something for lunch, and it just makes it an easy no-brainer. And the best thing that I find to do is when you're actually serving up dinner, put that serve aside for lunch tomorrow. So if you've got a partner maybe who works outside the home, in my world, everybody just works from home in their track pants. But if you have somebody in your household who actually leaves the house during the day and has to have lunch at a remote location, pack it for them as you're serving up the meal at night. And that way it's ready to go and you've made their life a whole lot easier as well. If you enjoyed this video, then please let me know. Leave me a comment below. Let me know what was your favorite tip. What are your hot tips for helping you save money that make you feel really abundant? Because when we save money in a way that makes us feel abundant and empowered, what it does, of course, is number one, makes you magnetic to more, helps make you attractive to more money and abundance, great ideas, inspiration, things that just flow and help you create a more abundant life. And of course, number two, you're saving money, which means you've got more money available to reduce your debts, to accumulate savings, to invest and grow your wealth. And for that, you need a money system, of course. So that's why the last thing I'm going to leave you with is a link to my Organize and Tidy Your Banking workshop, because having your banking organized means that as you save that money, by doing some of the things we talked about and some of the things you're going to share with me, you'll have more available to put towards your number one financial priority and to be able to then continue to reach your financial goals. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I love putting it together for you. I will see you next time when we keep talking about both the practical and magical things you can do to help you create more abundance, both inside and out.